Hi guys, this is Miss Fowler. I wanted to share this nonfiction book with you. Remember, nonfiction means it's not fake. These are real facts and information. This happens to be about sea turtles. This one is called Sea Turtles, Oceans Alive, and it's by Anne Harridges. Sea turtles are reptiles. They are cold-blooded and have scaly skin. Sea turtles live in warm ocean waters. Most sea turtles have a hard, bony shell. Large scales called scutes cover the top of the shell. And something interesting that's not necessarily in this book, but something I happen to know about sea turtles, is that their shell is actually comparable to what we humans have as like our rib cage. And so theirs is kind of fused together, and it's actually fused to their spine. So anytime you are touching a turtle's back, let's say you're knocking on it really hard, they can feel that, just like if someone was knocking on your head. So if you do happen to come across a turtle or a tortoise, which are usually the ones that we find on land, of course, keep that in mind, because that's something that they may not necessarily like if you're kind of knocking on them hard, right? Sea turtles have 4 flippers. They use their front flippers to paddle, and they use their back flippers to turn and stop. And the thing about this too is, guys, that they're really quick and smooth, and they can go really fast through the water. But think about what we're about to talk about is how they get onto the land. They can't move around quite as well. Sea turtles have strong jaws for biting and tearing food. Most sea turtles eat seaweed, crabs, fish, and jellyfish. And as you probably already know, one of the important things about sea turtles and what they eat is that they can't always distinguish, maybe say for instance jellyfish from a bag, like a paper bag, or I'm sorry, not a paper bag, a plastic bag that you may have gotten from Walmart or Publix. And that's how a lot of the times when they get rescued and rehabilitated, these caregivers will find lots of things in their stomach that they have swallowed, because they can't tell the difference between trash that gets in the ocean sometimes and the things that they're supposed to eat. Sea turtles migrate in late spring and summer. Females swim to beaches to lay eggs. The female sea turtle drags her heavy body onto the beach. So sea turtle nesting season is from May to October, and it's very important that we keep the beaches clean, flat, and dark. Clean, obviously, we don't want to have any trash on the beaches. So even if it's something you see and it's not yours, it's very important to pick it up and to dispose of it properly. And then, so that would be keeping it clean. Flat means if you have built a beautiful sandcastle, or we all love to dig big holes when we're at the beach. It's really, really important that when we're done at the end of the day, to fill in our holes and flatten that sandcastle, even if it was something you worked all day for. If you were to leave it there, sea turtles that come up to lay their eggs, they may get stuck on top of these sandcastles, and they definitely could fall in the holes, and then they're not able to get out, because like I said before, they move really well in the water, but on the sand it's not quite as easy for them. So we want to keep the beaches clean, flat, and then dark, because a lot of times when these sea turtle babies hatch and they come out, and even the moms when they're laying their eggs, they're looking to go back to the ocean, and they relate that by looking to the moon's reflection. So if we have lights on our patios and big condos that have lights, that can actually throw them off, and they might go the wrong direction and get confused and damaged and hurt and sometimes even killed. So flat, clean, and dark. She digs a nest in the sand. This is Mama with her flippers. You can kind of see in the picture how she's throwing it backwards. She lays about 100 eggs in the nest. The eggs are round and soft. The female sea turtle covers the eggs with sand. And if you look at this picture, if The sea turtle eggs are very similar in the shape and the size of like a ping pong ball. They're just a little bit, they're pretty soft though, like you could squeeze it. So that's one thing, that's one reason why they bury them, so that other animals that are coming through on the beach don't, eat them, and then you don't have a baby. So after she lays her eggs, she crawls back to the ocean. The baby turtles grow inside the eggs. They are ready to hatch in about 2 months. The baby turtles use a sharp egg tooth to break open their shells. And if you think about it, they're little bitty babies, and they're buried under that heavy, heavy sand. So not only are they having to bust out of their shell, but they're having to dig out of that heavy, heavy sand. So they're already going through a lot, and they just came into the world. The baby turtles dig up through the sand and they scurry to the water. So they automatically know to go to the water. But like I said, it's really important that, especially if this happens at night, that the light source that they're seeing is coming from the reflection from the water and not necessarily from a residential area like a house or business. When they do get to water, they swim with the current and make the ocean their home. The end. So we are in May right now, so let's make sure to remember that it is sea turtle nesting season. If you happen to be on the beach and you see, a lot of times sea turtles will lay their eggs at night, like really, really late at night, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, so you may not see it, but if you do see it, let Fish and Wildlife Services know. And then also, if you happen to see a little square that's roped off with like 4 little pieces of wood and some tape, that's definitely where sea turtles have been found to lay their eggs. So it's really important not to disturb it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember, we want to keep our beaches flat, clean, and dark at night.